Hello RC family, welcome back to this episode of Hobby Drop. Today we're gonna do a little walk and talk here, little RC therapy. So unlike most of my videos where I do a little discussion of what's happening and what the truck's doing and all of that, where I need to turn and drive, this is just more of a chit chat. So the topic at hand is ground up, fully custom builds and what to expect. So this guy is my first ever fully custom build. Come on. So having just finished the build experience, I figured that makes me uniquely qualified to chat about it. So this guy technically wasn't a ground up build, all purchase new, because I had the Capra that I kept the axles from. And that exact thing is actually the basis for the rules that I have when doing a new build. And that is, the first rule, just commit. Fully commit to building brand new. I kept the axles from the Capra because they're a big expense. But confession time, I just ordered some F10 Vanquish axles to put onto this guy. So the reason I kept them is because I had it, but that's why I say just commit, man. Just commit to a new build, because my next rule is you gotta know what you want getting into it. And stay true to what you know you want. With this rig, I knew I wanted something extremely capable. And if you want capable, then this Poizd chassis is absolutely the way to go. But I also know from experience with my Reaper that having a really low center of gravity is massively important. So I knew that I also wanted a ton of belly clearance. The Reaper has I think the most aggressive skid angle on like your standard class 2 style build. It's got a 12 degree, and this Poizd maximizes that to like 20 something, 27. And so that's why I was so excited about it. So I already had a ton of clearance available through the skid, that putting it on portals was unnecessary, in my opinion. The rock I drive on does not require tons of ground clearance. And so in my opinion, it wasn't necessary to get these portals. So I'm going to go with a straight axle. But because of that, I'm now changing potentially my links, my drive shafts, my transmission, probably for sure. And so because I wanted to keep something for the sake of not having to buy new, I kind of screwed myself over. So stay true to what you know you want, and don't be persuaded away from those things, even if it's just by yourself. So, other things to be aware of. It's going to take time. You're going to be doing a lot of research. You're going to be watching a lot of videos, hitting up the Facebook groups, and asking questions. Unless, all of this goes to say, unless you're a super experienced builder, like if you've if you've been doing it for forever and, you know, whatever, like, these rules aren't going to apply, you know. So be okay with it taking forever. This build took me several months because I got each piece and assembled before moving on into the next thing, just to try and make sure I did it right. And I'm glad I did, because I think this build turned out really nice. I'm just having the one regret of going with these Capra portal axles, because I also don't like the width of these axles, which is the exact reason why so many people love them. But I knew I didn't love the width, and yet I went with them anyway. So that's why I say stick to the things that you know you like about rigs and that you don't like. They are very expensive. Building from the ground up is pricey. I sold 2 different trucks. Like, I parted them out in order to fund this. But that's kind of the cool thing, is when you're doing a ground up build, you can do it slowly, a little bit at a time. It's not like you have to have $500, $600, $700, $1,000 all at once. Like, you can work at it a little bit at a time, which makes it really nice. I feel like I should be getting these climbs right now. Here we go. Got that hook. There we go. That's a tough one. So I think you can also expect to do something wrong. Expect to order a wrong part or two, you know? That's a part of the game. And that's kind of how I'm seeing this whole axle situation. Like, hey, I tried it, it didn't work, and now I'm going to try something else. And that's okay. You don't have to get it perfect the first time. Now, obviously, you're going to save money and time, and that's why doing your research ahead of time and accepting your preferences for what they are. So I knew with this build that I wanted I liked the skid angle, and I liked how low it was. So taking those factors, I did my research. I saw that this rig, you want to keep it as lightweight as possible and as compact as possible. So this transmission and motor setup I've never ran before, but I followed the guidelines, you know. So look at this just twisting up on me. It's terrible. Alright, chill out. There we go. So it's just a balance, man. But do your research so that you can avoid as many errors as possible. Other things, I knew I wanted some West Desert Wheeler cut and shuds, so that was another fun thing that I was like, you know what, on this new fresh build, I'm gonna splurge, I'm gonna buy them. But man, the G8s don't do it for me. Logan swears by them. He really does, he swears by them, but that's like the break-in process is so long and painful that's another thing where I'm like, oh, it was there. You see that? We're just getting denied today. It's probably because I'm distracted. But that's alright. It's all good times. It's all therapeutic. It's like my new slogan. Oh, wow. And then I just do it first try. Get that hook. Let's see if we can get another hook. Another thing on this build that I am not regretting, but I'm going to change, is I'm not going to go four-wheel steer. So that's where I didn't do enough research. This guy isn't even class 3 legal according to the rules of the competitions that we run down here. So putting four-wheel steer really just throws off the center of gravity. Or not the center of gravity, I mean a little bit, but the weight distribution. Puts a heavy motor, heavy axle on the rear. And because I'm so frequently driving one-handed, using four-wheel steer is a struggle. And so I don't do it very often. Even when we bring out the Poizd in these videos, I'm not really ever running four-wheel steer on it. So I'm going to do without that on the new F10 axles. Oh. Ooh, I don't like the sound it's making now, so we're not going to drive it anymore so that I don't do something worse before I can take it and get it on the bench and analyze. But that's kind of the walk and talk, you guys. Sorry. A little distracted. I'm not real good at the walk and talk, but those are kind of my takeaways. Take your time. Know what your pros, know what you want and what you don't want, and stick with those things. Find a build that's going to work around that. Don't force yourself into building something. And it costs a lot of money, but it's not all at once. So you can work at it, build it slow, and you guys, it's a fun opportunity. It's a fun thing to do. This is my first one, and you learn a lot. So enjoy it, enjoy the journey. And we'll see you later.